Next up, junior lightweights. 6 rounds between the local Gino Escamilla and Yaundale Evans. There is Gino Escamilla, 24 years old. He goes 5'4", 128, a record of 5, 6, and 1. He's from right here in Laredo, and he has struggled recently. Started a losing streak of 5 straight dating back to June 2008. And he's opposite Yaundale Evans, 20 years old, from Cleveland, 4-0 with 3 knockouts, 5'5", 129. And he impressed us when he fought back on November 4th on our air. Scheduled for 6, and Freddie Ledesma is the referee.
Here we go. Take off your shirt. Here we go. Come here. Okay. Instructions were given in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times, okay? You're a little high here, so this is good. Okay, you're good here. Touch him up and good luck.
Well, Evans is 4-0, 3 knockouts, but does that mean he has power, or does that mean that he's been in easy? Well, he has been in easy so far in his career. All his fights have been in the South, where the commissions there will allow you to build records. And he's fighting Escamilla, who's taking a fight on 4 days' notice. As you said, he's lost his last 5 fights in a row. Maybe about to become 6. Tough spot for Escamilla, who's a much smaller fighter besides everything else going against him. His last 7 fights, he's been mostly at bantamweight, between 117 and 119 pounds, Joe, while Evans has been between 127 and 134 pounds. So big difference in weight. Evans, the southpaw, the much bigger guy. But having said that, Evans has been in so light, I'm going to say this is probably a step up for him.
Interesting.
Yeah,
against a guy that's lost 5 straight.
Against a guy who's 5, 6, and 1, who's taking the fight on 4 days' notice, who's smaller, who's lost 5 straight. It's still a step up for Evans.
Right hand threw him off balance, and they are ruling that a knockdown.
4, 5, 6, 7. Your gloves touched. Okay, that's why I called it.
Ledesma explaining that a glove touched the canvas, so correct in ruling that a knockdown there.
Right now, Escamilla is on his bike a little bit. Not thinking about winning the round anymore. I think he's thinking about getting through the round, picking little spots, move a little bit, attack on the move. Try to catch Evans by surprise, pot shot him a little bit. The problem with Escamilla is when he stops to punch, he loads up with that left hook a little bit. And when he loads up, he leaves a little hole. And when you're a southpaw like Evans, with that right hook right there, you can fill that hole on a guy who's loading up with the left hook.
That right hand is sitting even closer. Gets there quick as it did again, and he came with a straight left behind it.
Look for that right hook of Evans. That's a favorite punch of a lot of southpaws, because the orthodox fighter not used to seeing that punch come from that angle. It can be very effective. It's been effective so far for Evans.
Now on the inside, he lands another right hook.
You know, if I'm Escamilla and I get through this round, the only thing I'm worried about the next round is not getting hit with Evans' right hook. That is what's been giving me a little bit of a headache.
This has got to seem like a very long round for the local product here. Still 20 seconds to go. He's been down once, he's been thrown off balance, and he's eaten that right hand from the 4-0 southpaw, Yaundale Evans. Coming to the end of round number 1. Escamilla and Evans.
Take a look at the knockdown from the southpaw Evans in the last round. The right hook, not on the chin, off the side of the head, but the glove did touch. Take one more look. The right hook on the side, off the shoulder, hits the side of his head. He's a little off balance. He's pulling away from the punch. But his glove, his right glove, touches the canvas. And the referee's right. That constitutes a knockdown in a 10-8 round.
Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you here in Laredo, Texas. You're watching Yaundale Evans against Gino Escamilla. Evans, and he puts him down again, and he hit the canvas hard. And you can see how off balance Escamilla is.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come
The referee should stop this.
Come to me.
He was extremely weak-legged there.
He's not
when
right
he was
now.
in the corner.
The referee
Watch
better
out
stay
here.
very close. The referee better stay very close. There's too much time left. And his legs are not there.
Here we go.
And I don't think he's in any condition to be allowing this fight to go on.
Break.
Right now,
Purposely
it's
wrapping up.
yeah, instinctually what Escamilla is doing is trying to fall in and grab like that and smother Evans.
Stop.
See, the danger is it's good once he gets in there, he stops the action. The danger is as he's falling in, does he get caught? And that's exactly what Evans is looking at right now.
Stop. Break.
Look for Evans to try to catch Escamilla. He knows what he's going to do, Joe. It's a big advantage when you know what a guy's going to do. He's going to fall in like that. So look for Evans to nail him with that right hook
Quit holding.
as Escamilla tries to fall in.
Stop. Break.
Give credit to Escamilla. A lot of heart. And so far, he's surviving.
Stop.
Just to get up as quick as he did after his head hit so hard. And to want to continue shows the courage of the 24-year-old outgunned Escamilla.
Indeed it does.
It also shows right now Evans not a great finisher. And there's a cut now in the corner of the right eye of Evans. That's always the danger when you don't get rid of somebody. Maybe they get lucky. Maybe they clash into you with their head and you get cut.
Break.
Evans did not get rid of Escamilla, and now he has a cut in the corner of his right eye. Again, that's what Evans is looking to do. Escamilla is going to fall in, try to get close, Evans, try to smother him.
Quit holding.
And there's like a 2-foot window there for Evans to nail him as he falls in.
Sweeping right hand was off the mark. Hard to believe that Gino Escamilla has been able to survive over 2 minutes since that knockdown. You saw him just thud to the canvas there. And the legs did not look good at all, but somehow, some way, by tying up and gutting it out, he gets through round number 2.
The knockdown from the last round with Evans, this is boxing's version of giving the guy enough rope to hang himself. You see Evans steps back, gives him room, and then when he gives him room, he shoots that left hand right down the middle. Again, gives Escamilla plenty of room to make a mistake, to make an opening, and then Evans again fills that opening with the left hand.
There is the local Laredo product, Gino Escamilla, who has lost 5 straight, took this fight on short notice against the unbeaten Yaundale Evans, who impressed us back in November, has been in soft so far in his career. Teddy, was interesting in watching that knockdown. It looked like the damage, the real damage that was done was his legs being taken out and the way the whiplash hit the back of his head when he hit the canvas there.
It's not going to be long before we see some more damage one way or the other. Escamilla, a free swinger. The problem is when he swings freely, he leaves plenty of openings.
Evans has been quick to fill those openings. Right hooks in the first round, the straight left hand in the second round. More of those opportunities continue for Evans here in round number 3.
See, Evans has all the choices. He can stay in the pocket in the eye of the storm. And he can punch inside those wide shots. There'll be plenty of room, plenty of opportunity. Or he could step outside, allow Escamilla, as he's trying to do, allow Escamilla to fall in, create a big opening.
Just ate a right uppercut on the inside. Evans with his back in that corner. Escamilla with a flurry. Nothing got in there clean. Fires off another right hand on the inside. Now turns him around.
Good job by the referee. I should say that right now. The last round when Evans dropped Escamilla, I thought it should be stopped. I was wrong. The referee was right.
Freddie Ledesma, but there was that moment. We saw it. I mean, we were only about 5 feet away from it, where if you looked in Escamilla's eyes, you did not see the kind of reaction that you want to see, and the legs were very, very weak, just standing in the corner. Not even moving, just standing, his legs were wobbly.
Exactly, but to his credit, his courage, and to the discredit of Evans, quite honestly, not doing a good job of going to the body, freezing Escamilla, and finishing the job. Evans allowed Escamilla to survive.
Stop, Rick.
As crazy as it sounded, I said early on that Evans, who's been in very soft, was actually stepping up against a fighter who's lost his last fight, his last 5 fights. Right now, you could start to almost believe that.
Stop, Rick.
Escamilla has never been knocked out. Now trying to tie up on the inside as Evans' right hand was still free. Came with the uppercut. Come towards the end of round number 3. Our main event is still to come. Juan Carlos Martinez against the 23-0 Juan Carlos Burgos. For a report, we will check in with ESPN Deportes, Claudia Trejos.
Thank you, Joe. We're here at Juan Carlos Burgos' locker room. And as you know, he's 5'10", and he's willing to use that height to his advantage. He wants to keep his opponent at a good distance, make sure he can bring in that left hook, which he considers is going to be his weapon for this evening. Since he's been out of the ring for 4 months now, he considers this a very important win in his career. And talking about Juan Carlos Martinez, as we all know, he had a little bit of a hard time trying to make weight, and yet the fight will take place. He's perfectly fine. I had a chance to speak to him earlier, and he says that he feels stronger than ever. He had a great dinner last night, full protein, high on carbs. He had even Pedialyte to make sure that he was completely hydrated for this fight. He also mentioned that he will keep the fight as close as possible, which is the area where he feels most comfortable. His challenge will be to maintain the stamina because he thinks this fight will be decided at the end of the 12 rounds. Back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Claudia. Well, I mean, that's the real challenge for Martinez. The fact that it's 12 rounds, a guy weighed 150 pounds, Teddy,
I think
a
the
week
challenge
ago.
for him is not to get destroyed to the body, because that's what I like, and that's where I think our audience should be tuned in and ready to watch and stay with us and watch that fight. Burgos, really a terrific body puncher.
Great body punch. And he takes a lot of pride in it, too. We talked to him yesterday. He loves going to the body, and he does it very, very well. And Martinez, in a story we'll talk about a little more, and Teddy will have a lot of insight on, losing 100, going from 150 to 129 in just the week, and still coming in only able to shed a quarter of a pound when he was asked yesterday on the scale to go out there and sweat more off. So the effects that that'll have on the main event, we'll talk more about that coming up a little later. But right now, it's round number 4. And just to reset this a little bit as to what has happened in this fight, we look at the punches through round 3. You can see the dominating numbers by Yaundale Evans. In the first round, right hook came home, Escamilla went down. In the second round, straight left hand, Escamilla went down, hit his head very hard, and had shaky looking legs, but somehow survived.
That blood still trickling from the corner of the right eye of Evans. The cut man in charge of stopping that trickling is Ramon Rodriguez in the corner of Evans. Again, you see Escamilla consistent with his approach, moves a little bit, and then tries to surprise attack a little bit. The problem is when he stops the surprise attack, again, he gets wide and he gets open. That's the spot. I believe if I'm in Evans' corner, I'm telling him, put the ring down, track him a little bit, force him into a position, Joe, where he's got to stop to punch and be ready. When he's going to stop to punch, be ready to time him coming in. If I'm in Evans' corner, pretty much that's what I'm looking to do. Like right there. But right now, Evans allowing himself to be smothered.
Evans tried to time that left hand there. That's that time trying to catch him with the right hand as he came in before the smothering that you've been detailing. And there's just a looping right hand as he ducked his head from Escamilla.
And that's Evans not being ready for that attack.
Now a flurry on the inside before Escamilla has the opportunity to wrap up again.
Again, Evans can catch him on the outside, or he can stay inside and punch inside those wide shots.
2 to go between these two. There's Yaundale Evans, 20 years old, 4-0 from Cleveland, Ohio, in command of this fight against Gino Escamilla, fighting here in Escamilla's hometown of Laredo, Texas. We actually have a Friday night fights coming up in February from Cleveland, Ohio. There's a left hand that came after the right jab from the southpaw Evans.
Evans is now in uncharted territory. First time he's ever been past 4 rounds in his career. Escamilla, well, he's been here before. He's been 6 rounds, Joe, 6 times. Not a bad job of surviving for Escamilla, taking the fight on 4 days' notice, much smaller man, and he gets dropped in the first 2 rounds. Again, his courage has to be applauded.
Right now, Escamilla, though, career-wise, is heading towards 6 straight losses unless he can pull out a miracle finish here against Evans. You know, we've talked about this in the past, Teddy. He's very courageous, he's very game, but you know, we've talked about at what point do you say, okay, I should be doing something else for a living, that the matchmaking isn't working out, especially when you're in guys, you know, that he's been in with. We talked about certain commissions having a rule that if you go 10 straight losses, that's it. You don't fight within that commission any longer.
Part of the problem for the commission here is probably that he hasn't been stopped. He goes the distance, which is not always better. He's still taking punishment, but there's a reason for them to say that they don't want to suspend him or take his license away because, again, yeah, he's lost 5 in a row, about to become 6, it looks like, but he doesn't get knocked out. But I think it's the responsibility of the people who are involved in his life, his athletic life the most, who are around him, who are involved in business with him, his trainers and his managers, to also make that decision. And to be honest with themselves and honest with the fighter. More of the same from Escamilla. He'll move a little bit, try to keep the bigger, faster Evans off balance a little bit, off stride, and then all of a sudden he'll stop and he'll pick a spot. Again, a couple ways Evans could go about his business. He could use his jab to stabilize Escamilla, which he's not doing. Keep him on the outside, set something up off that jab, or cut the ring down, force Escamilla into a position to stop the punch, like that, and then time him.
Mouthpiece came out, right hand came in. End of 5, 1 to go between Escamilla and Evans. Earlier tonight, let's show you how we opened up Friday night fights. The 2008 Olympian Demetrius Andrade, easy work against Bernardo Guareca, a first-round knockout. So Andrade goes to 9-0 with 7 knockouts. You can see this coming a mile away. There's the right hand. We'll snap zoom to show you how things went down. But you've talked about this before. The career management, the progression of Andrade, it comes into question. They say, you know what, we're more than happy to take the slow and steady approach. And his father, who's his manager and trainer, Paul, says, this is the only sport where people want to rush you.
Well, I would disagree with him, and I think he's being a little self-serving in that statement. And, you know, he's a father. Of course, he's going to say whatever he can that's best for his son. But that's not true at all. I mean, there's not that many one-on-one sports. I mean, in wrestling, you have to step up. In tennis, you know what? John McEnroe had to play better players after a while. Tiger Woods in golf, guess what? He had to step up. He had to play against better guys. In swimming, guess what? You have to step up a little bit. You can't keep swimming against guys that don't know how to swim. And even in chess, guess what? When you play chess, after a while, you got to play better guys in chess, in track and field. Guess what? You got to step up and run against better people. So it's not true at all that it's the only sport where you're asked to step up. It's probably the opposite. I would say, in response to his comment, that quite the contrary. It's the only sport where you can get away with not stepping up.
You decide who you're going to fight.
You decide who you're going to fight, and as long as you can get away with it, you can go that way. Look,
nobody forces you to accept the fight.
No, all I'm saying, Joe, is that you need a certain amount of fights when you first turn pro to get your comfort level, get your legs under you. But when you've had over 200 amateur fights and you've been the best, one of the best in the world internationally, and the best at your weight class in the United States for so long, what are you doing fighting these kind of guys? You almost have a responsibility to the fighter to tell him you believe in him and you want to bring out the best in them. You want to be responsible, but you can fight better than this. You look at De La Hoya, Sugar Ray Leonard, they were pretty good amateurs. You ever look at their record? After 6, 7, 8, 9 fights, they were fighting good fighters, and it served them well. They knew that he could fight a good fighter, those guys, the people with him, so they put him in with good fighters, and it developed them.
So we'll continue to monitor the progression of Demetrius Andrade, a very skilled, unbeaten prospect, but yet to step up. Just over a minute to go here in this fight that's been dominated by Yaundale Evans. Scored 2 knockdowns, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Gino Escamilla, though, has done a sound job of surviving and getting through here. He's lost 5 straight. He's never been taken out.
We haven't had really many competitive fights on the card. I mean, here's a second fight in a row, or third fight in a row tonight, or third fight tonight, I should say, where the opponents are coming in on short notice. Escamilla came in on 4 days. The main event fight is coming in on a week, and of course, the fighter who was knocked out by Andre came in on a week. So, you know, you start to say, hey, what is it with all these opponents coming in on short notice?
Our main event features Juan Carlos Burgos, who many are high on, 23-0 with 16 knockouts for the 22-year-old Mexican featherweight. He'll be taking on Juan Carlos Martinez, a veteran who had a recent upset, but now takes a major step up on a week's notice. So Escamilla survives and goes the distance against Yaundale Evans. We will hear from the judges when we come back to Laredo, Texas, and Friday Night Fights. Welcome back to Laredo. Let's look at Teddy's scorecard. Between Escamilla and Evans, the 2 knockdowns early made for 10-8 rounds. He coasted in 60-52. Here's what Mike Williams has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision will go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Tony Garcia scores about 60-52. Miguel Acuna scores about 59-53. And your third and final judge, Roy Ovalle, scores about 60-52. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Yaundale Money Shot Evans.
So Evans is now 5-0.